Have you ever wanted to be a better Minecraft PvPer so you could win every single battle because you just haven't been winning them recently? If so, watch this video to learn about the 5 best strategies for Minecraft PvP. Strategy number 1, block hitting. Block hitting is easily one of the most overpowered methods of fighting. Since 1.7, block hitting though has since been kind of fixed, but not really, because only the animation has changed. So in theory, if we were to take a giant mob with a ton of health, such as an iron golem, because we can use them just to show off the large quantity of health, and the way this works. The way that you effectively do this is you block and hit, and the way this works is if you can time it properly, where your opponent hits you when you're blocking and then you hit them, you can effectively get them in a very effective combo, which will result in them dying since you'll be dealing more damage than you'll be taking. It generally works out pretty well. The second strategy or tip for PvP that I would suggest using involves fishing rods and snowballs, or eggs. And the reason why this works so well is because effectively what happens is there's this glitch in Minecraft where if you hit the person while they're suspended, they'll essentially take double damage. So if you were to hit this and then tap it while it's in the red, it does double damage. Essentially, this will end up doing double damage to the mob or the enemy. Same goes for snowballs. So this here will effectively let you get double damage on somebody. And this is a glitch that has been in Minecraft for quite a while, so I don't see it going anywhere in the near future. Now, my third tip is learning how to effectively loot chests and put on armor properly. So for starters, if your armor's in your hotbar, you can use your numbers to get all of the gear on easily or you can shift it on, but using the numbers will put it on quicker. And looting, you can do the same with the numbers. If you press your number keys, it'll effectively put it into that slot in your hotbar. And then to easily swap armor, you can simply just use the numbers. It's very efficient for PvP, especially if you're trying to quickly loot gear or swap it out mid-fight. If you have low durability gear, easily swapping it in the middle is definitely worth it. The next tip for PvP is specifically for the bow. Now generally what you're trying to do with the bow is you're trying to effectively get your opponent down in HP. So a lot of people are like, charge the bow all the way because you get criticals. Yes, you do get a critical if you charge it all the way, and you can tell by the particles. But this critical doesn't give you as much damage per second as loading just to your second would. If you were to keep firing second shots, you would effectively do more damage to your opponent this way, although you do use slightly more arrows. It is effectively a much better way to bow, and if you can get used to either using the second phase or generally the yellow arrow on certain PvP texture packs, it'll really benefit you in the long run with your archery skills. Here we are with tip number 5, but before I show you guys what it is, if you guys did enjoy this little bit of a tutorial, drop a like, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe. But let's show you guys the final tip, which is personally the best tip I can suggest for you guys. And that is, if you have a sword and your opponent is kind of stagnant or not really moving too much, jump and circle around them and kind of strafe them while using jumping to get criticals. But like, you gotta like spin around them, kind of, like do a bit of a strafe move, kind of go in like a circle as you're doing this as best you can. It generally works pretty well. Another strafe that works pretty well, I'll show you guys in F5, is where you do this. You would like move over and then jump back, hit them. This works very well, very effectively, because if you can get it in a somewhat random way where it still makes sense to you, your opponent will generally get confused and end up not hitting you. But that concludes today's video where we were discussing all the different tips, well, 5 tips specifically for Minecraft PvP. They're very good tips, and hopefully you guys will see some improvement when you use them. But I'll see you guys in another video. Be sure to leave a comment. Bye!